The miserable pile of pixels.
Hello there, summoners! Since the launch of League of Legends back in 2009, the game's been packed with tons of items to choose from, as some of them have been way too overpowered and removed from the game. So today I'll be talking about the items that have been removed during the course of time. I want to focus more unique items than reworked items, with Zhonya's ring being a good example that got turned into Zhonya's hourglass that we all know nowadays. So let's get started. My name is Hepodix and hope you enjoy. Atma's Impaler was a legendary item in League of Legends, but was completely removed from the game in patch 4.21. Atma's Impaler featured interesting stats, both armor and critical strike chance, and the item's passive lets you gain extra attack damage based on your maximum health. The critical strike chance stat on this weapon is a bit off place, but still, it ended up being very cost efficient for certain AD bruisers who scaled from both attack damage and health. Gold per 5 items: Avery's Blade, Heart of Gold, Cage's Lucky Pick and Philosopher's Stone. Talking about classics, the old gold regenerating items that could be used in every single lane to abuse more gold income, but nowadays it's all adapted into a support only thing. There were 4 different type of gold income items for anyone. Avery's Blade granted 10% critical strike chance plus gold regeneration. Heart of Gold gave 200 flat health plus gold regeneration, which was so broken that it got removed far earlier than the other 3 items. Cage's Lucky Pick gave ability power and gold regeneration, but it got rebranded into Frostfang, as well as Philosopher's Stone that gave you health, mana and gold regeneration, but that got reworked into Nomad's Medallion, which is one of the current support items along with Frostfang. Malady was another classic item in League of Legends that got removed in patch 3.8, but its effects were split between the current Wit's End and Nashor's Tooth. Malady provided you with 25 ability power and 45% attack speed, and your basic attacks dealt bonus magic damage and shred the enemy's magic resist with each attack. The funny thing about this item was that it was very gold efficient, and on top of that you could shred the enemy's magic resistance below 0 to do some massive damage altogether. Force of Nature was another advanced item in League of Legends, and it got removed so early on that the newer players may not even recognize this one. Force of Nature's stats provided health regeneration, movement speed, a massive amount of magic resistance, and additionally you gained extra health regeneration equal to your maximum health. This item was just way too overpowered for tanky champions because of the high stats provided, and even Riot did a few nerfs to it, but instead of fixing or balancing it properly, they decided to remove it completely from the game. Stacking items: Leviathan and Sword of the Occult. As we know Medjai's Soul Stealer today, it works as a high risk high reward type of item for the mages. But back in the day there were similar options for tanks and physical damage dealers too. Leviathan granted an extra 820 health when gaining the maximum 20 stacks, plus when capped, you also gained a 15% damage reduction, which was simply too broken for the price of 1275 gold. Sword of the Occult gave attack damage instead of health, and upon 20 stacks you will be awarded a 20% bonus attack speed, which wasn't really that strong compared to Leviathan, but as the patch history will tell, Leviathan got removed far earlier than its attack damage counterpart due to its insanely strong given stats. Innervating Locket was a legendary item in League of Legends, and after players noticed its excellent potential, it got removed pretty quickly. On top of the base health, mana and cooldown reduction, your allies gained some health and mana regeneration, and whenever used an ability you'd gain 50 health and 20 mana over 2 seconds, which had 3-second cooldown. Due to the fact that you'd always get health and mana when using spells, champions like Uduru were so broken with this that they became literally indestructible during the laning phase, and a single item domination is something Riot definitely doesn't want to happen to unbalance things around. Mana Potion was one of the basic consumable items in League of Legends, and personally I think it was more or less a shock to hear that it got removed recently, back in patch 5.22. There were champions that I definitely bought mana potions for, especially the ones with high mana costs early on, Anivia, Kassadin, Veigar, you name it. But nowadays we have a new set of elixirs and potions to choose from, but to be honest they don't feel as natural as the old ways, but maybe that is just me and how to adapt into these new changes to come. Sword of the Divine was most likely my favorite high risk high reward item, and it's sad that it's been removed now, but that is understandable though. Passively, you gained 45% attack speed only, but upon activation your next 3 basic attacks will grant 100% attack speed and critical strike chance, so with the cost of 2150 gold, you could do devastating 3-shot combos all over the place. With the champions like Vayne or Rengar, the item was simply too powerful, and when patch 4.21 finally came upon us, it was time to say goodbye for this amazing snowball item. Deathfire Grasp was a really popular legendary item in League, and many people didn't like the fact that it got removed from the game. On top of the massive ability power and cooldown reduction, the active dealt 15% of the target's maximum health and applied debuff Doom that increased your magic damage output by an additional 20%. The reason for the removal was that the active's damage plus that 20% amplifier was way too strong for champions like LeBlanc or Veigar, because they could burst you from 100 to 0 in a blink of an eye. Also, other champions like Ahri, who used to have a 20% damage amplifier in her charm, got removed during the same 5.2 patch, so it wasn't only the Deathfire Grasp that was targeted when talking about amplifier boosts altogether. I'm pretty sure some people would disagree with me on this one, but Crystalline Flash was the starting item I was so attached to for such a long time, and hearing that it will be removed was a real letdown for myself. Whether it was that sticky mid or top lane where you needed extra sustain early on, the Flash was just the right option to maneuver that laning phase with the regular potions added to the mix that you could afford. Sure, we have new potion types nowadays such as Corruption Potion and Hunter's Potion, but they don't serve the same